Hello, folks. Hello, my public. Um, I hope you're doing well. It doesn't matter wherever you are and what the time is exactly. And yeah, I hope you're doing well during the weekend. You could have time maybe to relax or a free gap for you to uh, reflect yourself or spending a bit time with your family or which is surrounded by you or like your friends. Um, yeah, I think we will talk about today about consciousness, which is really essential nowadays. It is really important to be conscious, to be cost conscious, to be corporate conscious, maybe conscious about the environment or conscious based on your abilities. Maybe there are a lot of responsibilities. I mean, you have to be accountable when it comes to show or like demonstrate, advertise your skills, your ability, and to your friends during your business time. Um, there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of options to show, to demonstrate, and yeah, I mean nowadays it's really important to be conscious about your environment at least. Um, we should simplify what is the definition of conscious nowadays. I mean, food wasting, it's a huge problem. It's a huge theme nowadays. Um, to avoid, to reduce the percentage of food management as well. That's why it is really important related to be conscious. I mean, you have a lot of options, ideas, opinions to reduce, to shorten the percentage or the tremendous amount of the food wasting, which is really crucial. I mean, that's why I think I don't know how is the percentage of food wasting in Switzerland. I mean, we can just make a short research if you want. There are some good links which is in the browser. Let me check it. We can googling if you want. Let's say the percentage of food wasting in the Switzerland. 25% food that is thrown away or not consumed accounts for 25% of Switzerland's total footprint. Yeah, it makes sense, I would say. That is almost a half the environmental impact of Switzerland, maybe. I'm not quite sure. Um, but yeah, I think it's a remarkable amount of percentage. In the United States, the food waste is estimated at between 30 and 40% of the food supply, which is a huge. It is I mean, it is not fantastic, it is fatal. It is really sad. I mean, to have a like uh how do we say it, a remarkable or like a huge difference or discrepancy of difference. I mean, it's a huge discrepancy between each other. When you compare those percentages. And yeah, what are 5 facts about food waste? Let me show you. 40% of all food in the United States is wasted. 25% of all fresh water we consume goes to produce food we never eat. 4% of the oil we consume goes to produce food we never eat. 166 billion retail value of preventable waste is spent on the food we never eat. I cannot imagine, I mean, I cannot see the background about these numbers, you know. But it's really sad to see that it's not really, I don't know, it's really risky, it's really problematic nowadays, with the ecological environment. So I mean, related to the economical environment, and it is not really pricey. Yeah, I think it's really different to express, my own idea about this problem nowadays. I think we can combine these percentages with, yeah, with the informations, with the infos from different countries, and yeah. I mean, let me flip back to the topic conscious. Um, that was just an example, to initiate or like to clear up what is a conscious. I mean, that's a huge aspect, or that's an important aspect, which has to do with consciousness. And it is not really frugal, it is not economical, it is expensive, to waste the food. And um, we are maybe too generous, our attitude, our life attitude. And I mean, yeah, we should appreciate everything nowadays, I would say. Otherwise, it's not really nice, to reveal, I mean, such informations like now. I think it's really sad, and which I want to point out to you. I want to indicate you, or like define to you, and we should maybe redefine our opinion, our lifestyle, how we consume the food. Um, or maybe we should like consider more when we go to take food, or like some, I don't know, triggers. And it's really important. That's why I think, we should more think about it, and we should spend more time, and we should maybe, clarify several times if we are really needed, to wasting such amount of percentage food. And there are some risky informations, or like risky transformations to our environment, which we have to keep in track, I would say. We have to see the outlook, and we have to keep the track, about our environment. We should be more careful. And otherwise, I think, in my opinion, when you ask me, it is not really plausible. It is not really nice, it is senseless for me, if you ask me. um yeah, I mean, we should force more ourselves to save more money, to save more food articles. If we are going to a grocery or to a supermarket, we should ask us more than once, before we take something from the shelf. And that's why I think, I want to simplify. I want to like show you, or to point out what is a conscious, what is a huge part of conscious, which we should use the conscious in, yeah, I mean, in uppercase. We should print out conscious in uppercase, and we should also hang out on the wall in our room, to see and to face it every day, or yeah, practically every day. That's why I think there are some similar um, attitudes, or like, how do we say, like futures, when it comes to simplify the conscious. And when it comes to go to work, and if you are committing sports, or if you're like engaged in different groups, which you have like which you're doing like for socializing, for the humanity, which is also really important nowadays to have such or like to reserve a certain of amount of time, you know, to committing or like to joining such nice groups, which is valuable. And yeah, um, let's say about myself, I'm really conscious when it comes to spend time with my mother, with my parents, because my mother is valuable. My mother is really essential to me, and we are keeping our relationship in a good way, and that makes me really happy. And yeah, I want to indicate you that conscious in general it's really important. It has some risky aspects which you have to consider, which you have to face it sometimes, and which you should like sacrifice your time as well, you have a lot of time to create, and you have a lot of time to consider, and you should like sacrifice your time or sacrifice yourself, or the way you eat, and to be more conscious. It's really important. It is really it is not it is advantage, it's a huge advantage, which has more than one red flags. And my assumption is that we should to be more conscious about our lifestyle, and we should be sometimes a bit greedy, when we spend a bit time, and when we spend or like uh, money, and that's why I think it is really important. And I'm a really blunt person, I'm really direct when it comes to speak about my conscious, about my failure as well. And that's why I think it's unprofitable, for us when we keep our eyes and not take time to speak about consciousness, about food wasting as well, which has a lot of influence in our environment. Um, that's why I think, um, yeah, we should to be more clever, more intelligent. I hope that because we have enough of ways to feed our family, and to have enough energy, and to take enough food articles in our body, which is which could be like a bit prejudice, but it is phenomenal today what we have, and we can supply our body. And there are a lot of ways, which we can do that. And we should not abuse, we should not abuse the way how we live, the way how we eat. And we should to be more confident how we are reacting sometimes, especially. And yeah, I mean, it's not purposeless to speak nowadays about consciousness, about cost conscious. When it comes to simplify to me, in my job, in my position, or based on to my position, as in the procurement, it's really important. It's crucial to be conscious. That can maybe indicate or like influence in our margin profit, which we have in our office, in our company, which affected not just our business unit, the other branches as well, subsidiaries. I mean, it's exactly to say, um, and yeah, I think I don't know. There are a lot of main takeaways which we have to follow, the rules sometimes, or the way how we work, especially in the procurement, when we have like negotiations, or we are going to the negotiations as well with our suppliers, we should be consider about the conscious. And also, reflect yourself, reflect your movement, your behavior to your environment or to your family members as well. It's really nice, it's really good, which you can maybe redefine yourself, your personality sometimes. And I think that, sorry, I think there is a huge free gap, which we can redefine or we can shape ourselves, and our we can personalize our opinion when it comes to consider about doing something, or like you should leave a good line, behind yourself. Um, if you someday reach the age which you should be more careful about you. I hope that I will not regret, the way why I live, how I live, and I hope that I can leave many other people which can speak behind my back, in a positive way. That's really crucial, and I think it is really good to you, which can, like, I don't know how to say that, but um, uh, you can like captivate a lot of people, around you, with your behavior, with your idea, and yeah, um, yeah, that's what I mean in general, roughly, and yeah, I don't have any other opportunities, about to speak about costs, about consciousness as well. I mean, a consciousness is like, I don't know how to say, but um, your awareness of yourself, and the world around you. And awareness is also really subjective and unique to you. Everyone has their unique attitude, which can show their awareness, and yeah, and it can also show the quality or the state of being aware, especially of something within on self. Within on self, I mean the state or the fact of being like conscious and external object or fact, maybe sometimes. That's why I think it's really important. And I think there are some common synonyms when it comes to speak about consciousness. One of them is like to be sensible, to be more aware or like awake. Vogue culture, it's like a huge how do we say that, a huge meaning, which started in the USA. We can speak on my next video clip, which we can also speak some important informations about the Vogue culture, which is started in the USA for a couple of years and spreaded across the whole Europe, and um, I'm not really thankful when it comes to speak about Vogue culture, and Vogue culture can also lead, um, not just in a good way, to think about people, to think about how is was built the woke culture in the USA. There are some meaning, there are some reasons why we are talking about a woke culture. Um, there is also the opposite side, cancel culture as well, um, which has a lot of meaning or a background when it comes to speak about that. And yeah, I mean, it is not controversial. There are some specific facts why we are speaking about that nowadays. And yeah, but let's make a recap, about the conscious. What I mean, we could speak about conscious today, about consciousness, what it means, and what has to do with our environment, and I give you also some informations I demonstrated or advised you, some information based on food wasting in different uh, yeah countries like USA or in the Europe, maybe the tremendous amount, which is sadly to see, um, around we spoke about around 25% in the Switzerland, which is not really nice, to be honest. And in the USA, it's like almost 40%. And yeah, I think, um, I mean, 40% is estimated, of the food supply. And I mean, 40% of the food supply, it's a huge amount. It's almost a um, uh, half part of the supply, the food supply, and it's not really nice. And we have also spoke about food wasting around 25% in the USA, which makes goes to produce food we never eat. And I don't know. I'm really wondering. We They're consuming from the fresh water, the 25% of the fresh water they're consuming, or the consume goes to produce foods we never eat. I don't know what is the meaning of that in exactly way. What is the background, and why we have never eat before, these food articles which they are producing, of the consuming fresh water, 25%, which is a waste. And and 166 billion, I mean, it's spent on the food we never eat. It's really, as I mentioned you before several times, it is really sad. And yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's not really nice to see such informations, and that makes me not happy, to be honest. And yeah, I don't know how to say, or like how to redefine, or how to define or point out my idea. um it is freaky, it is sad, or like, I don't know, I'm really unhappy about that. you know and this is also upsetting, to see the way, how we waste our goodies. And yeah, unfortunately, yeah, or like, regrettably or sadly, there are different ways to express my, yeah, my opinion about this project, about this topic. um and yeah, if you like my channel and if you like my content as well, um please leave me a thumbs up or subscribe my YouTube channel as well. I would appreciate it a lot, because, as I mentioned you, I will indicate again and again, and I will also advertise you that I'm um, I'm practicing my English, because otherwise, um, I'm not really awake. It's really nice for me. It's really easy for me to forget some words in English, or like some expressions, which is really sad to know that, to face it. That's why, I'm just spending a bit time to create my videos randomly, which is remarkable, I think. And I hope I can create more professional contents to you, or like more informative, which is lucrative to know more about some informations. And I'm sacrificing my time as well, which makes me happy. At the same time, I can push myself, I can motivate myself, to speak more, to encourage me more, and to be more confident, to speak with more accuracy and efficiency. That's why I think yeah, it's really important to have an urge to speak. you know And that's why, as I mentioned, you leave me a thumbs up or subscribe my channel. I will appreciate it a lot of again. And yeah, take care about you. And I wish you a nice weekend. And yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.